Sunny, high 24. Monday is going to be mostly cloudy with a chance for a flurry, high 24. For KTUI, I'm Jim Rinaldi.
KTUI time is 10:05, and the current temperature is 41 degrees.
On the high plains of Gasconade County, 44 degrees here at airtime, and we have an overcast sky and drizzle in the air. It just may be a purview of what is here to come. Sam says it's going to get really, really cold here coming up, and that's all because of the groundhog. The groundhog seen his shadow, I was told, and that means, in fact, we have 6 more weeks of winter weather. Surprise, we are in Missouri, so we can expect that, and we almost welcome a little cold weather here for a lot of reasons. Around the farm, it has been very muddy. Pregnant Grace in her boots and unrolling hay.
A little harder this year.
Huh?
A little harder this year.
Little harder. It's kind of how it feels when you get to be old,
yeah.
Lifting your feet up with muddy boots on. It ceases to be as much fun sometimes, right? But, I do appreciate her. It'd be hard to get things done without you sometimes, because the cows are in mud, and they get quicker as time goes, and you open the gate to put
The cows get quicker or you get slower?
Cows are quicker. They are much quicker. Grace, you can certainly see that, but it gets to be challenging when they're on hay and they want to get out of the gate so quick. So but it's all good. We're calving at this juncture. We started with heifers about a week ago, and every day we've been having some, and it requires a big effort, but we're doing okay with it. That's all good. So everything is now kind of out of grass, and everything is on hay, and it's a challenging time of the year, but the days are getting longer as we can tell, and the February is a short month. Is this leap year? How many days does February have this year? 28? Okay. I doubt if anybody be asking me any serious questions anyway. Would you think, Grace, in regard to that? I'm taken anyway, without a doubt. So, we've this morning was just great for me. I told Karen when I left, I spent an hour and a half with Ellie Mae, our new granddaughter, as of the 22nd of December, and she was at the house this morning, as well as Weston, and I told her I don't think that I had ever spent an hour and a half with any of you kids, in the morning, and it was a good time, By the way, I'm Ellie Mae's favorite.
We'll see about that.
I think I keep telling her that, Grandpa's your favorite, but she's awesome, a great girl, and it's just a blessing, to have, grandkids at this juncture, and for everybody to be close in our family. The good Lord has blessed us, there's no question, and even though the world is what it is, keep your focus on those loved ones and the family and the good things in your life, and you can't go wrong. I mean, that's just how it is. Life is kind of up and down sometimes, but those kids and grandkids on the way, right, Grace?
That's right.
Very
blessed.
Huh?
We're very blessed.
We are. There's no question about it at all. We are, and we hope that you are too, and if you're not, look a little harder, because I'm absolutely sure that you will find a list of blessings that you'll be able to enjoy and keep focused upon. Yeah, well, we are here this morning, and we've kind of missed you the last couple of weeks. This is a tough time of the year. We had some guest schedule last week, and the weather was inclement, and we couldn't couldn't have them, so just bear with us here. We'll try to do better in regard to having guests. And then Karen and I were gone a week or two, and the holidays and COVID, so we're back, and we're glad to have us with us this morning. There's a new sheriff in town. Have you heard that, Scotty Eiler?
I heard that.
There is a new sheriff in town, and he is Scott Eiler. He's was elected last fall, and he's been indoctrinated, at this juncture, without a doubt, and overwhelming numbers in regard to, his win here, and kind of a unique situation, Scott, that you came in. Our existing sheriff had resigned and took up another position, and we had an interim, for a period of time. Tell me a little bit about that.
The previous sheriff, he went back to being an electrician, and then an intern, Sheriff Mark Williams, he decided for what's best for the county was to turn it over to the new elected sheriff, which happened to me, so we can give the people fully staffed so we can move forward. And he thinks, by him being an intern, he was afraid people was not applying because they did not know what the new sheriff was going to do.
Right.
So he decided to step down for the best of the interests of Gasconade and to start moving forward. And I took office on in October and been running since.
So how are things going in regard to your staff? Do you have, your administration all put in place, the chief deputy, and I don't know if you call them captains or what it is, but your management team, do you have that in your?
We have everything set up. My major was Roger Armstrong, and then I got 2 sergeants, and then we're completely full staff. So we're not short on deputies, and we got a couple people in training. Once they get out of field training portion of their training, then we will be 100% full staff and more deputies on the road patrolling.
How about your office staff? I know you're not deep there, but you do have some people in the office that help you, and they are critical.
Absolutely. I could not do my job without my office manager, Felicia. I mean, she does a phenomenal job. And
She been there a while?
she has. I think she's going on, 2-3 years, but that's a lot. She keeps me in line, and all the paperwork has to go FBI to the Highway Patrol, CCW to the ATV permits. I mean, just a lot of paperwork, and you have to know where that paperwork goes, and she's training me on some of that stuff. So
Yeah, well, I know what that is to some degree, but I can't imagine in your particular situation just how much detail that there is, in getting this paperwork and filing this paperwork and getting it right, because, hey, all the work that you do in the field basically comes down to the paperwork and where it goes, and if your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, and that is probably the key thing. I mean, no disrespect to deputies and the job you do and everything else, but unless you got somebody that is thorough and meticulous in regard to the paperwork, your work is kind of for naught.
correct, because without her doing the correct stuff, then it falls back on me. She submits the paperwork wrong, then the Highway Patrol's coming down and saying, hey, you submitted this wrong, or, I can get into civil liability pretty quick if that paperwork is not submitted correctly.
And then you've got a lot of sometimes precarious judges and lawyers, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
looking at every particular thing, because that's why a lot of cases never make it to the docket. Sorry to say, is that the correct procedures and the policies and the paperwork was not followed correctly, and it's very problematic in some situations.
It is. Like I tell the deputies, and the deputies say, it's 10 minutes worth of fun and 2 hours worth of paperwork. So.
Well, I'm glad that they view their job, you know what I'm saying, as being challenging, and I'm glad they view it, that service, that level of service, as part of what they enjoy doing, enjoy serving to that degree. We just had a solemn day yesterday and the day before by laying to rest one of your own, in the Capitol, that gave his life, to do the job, that he did and protect the people, that he took the oath to serve, and that's a heavy load, Scott, when you raise your hand, to protect. I mean, protecting as a politician, okay, the Constitution is one thing, but your oath, to protect and to serve, and I'm not exactly, can't verbatim, say what that is, but it's a it's a totally different oath, you know what I'm saying, in regard to the commitment that you make not only to the Constitution, but the commitment you make to protect people, and it's signed in your blood.
Yep. You gotta like it to do it. You ain't doing it for the money, I tell you that. So,
yeah.
We hire a few local guys around that came out of the academy. So a lot of deputies I have now are mostly from Gaston County or just the surrounding close, yes.
So they know our culture. They know our area. They know some people.
Yep.
And the benefit of that is we're back at community policing.
Community policing, absolutely.
And that is the key, correct?
It's very key because without the citizens' help and knowing the officers, the deputies, and having trust with them, it makes our job easier because they're willing to come to us and say, hey, this vehicle's doing this or this person's doing this. And without the citizens' help, it's hard to do our job.
Well, that's one of the benefits, okay, that you have in a rural area. Not in fact that you can have, the same rate of pay, the same amount of technology out there, the same, kind of financial resources, that, a lot of other in the city, or in bigger metropolitan areas have. But you do have the knowledge, what I'm saying, of trust, that can go a long way in regard to keeping you safe. I mean, that's basically what it is. If there's a good trust between the sheriff, what I'm saying, his deputies and his staff, and most of the people out there, it's got to make your job easier.
It does make it easier. I mean, it's nice when you go out to eat, people come up to you, thank you for our service and everything. It just, living in Gaston County, it's just amazing how much support law enforcement has compared to other larger scale cities.
And it doesn't ring hollow with you guys, I mean, in all honesty, when I tell them that we appreciate what they do and try to work with them in a regard, I think they know that, the people here really do respect, law enforcement. There's no hollow words in regard because their actions show that. And we know that it's the critical element, that we have in regard to being able to have safe and secure neighborhoods without spending lots of dollars to do it. I mean, it's never about the dollars, in all honesty.
Never about the money. It's about doing our job, solving the crime, getting property back to the victims, and putting people in jail that needs to be in jail.
Has COVID played a role in your department in regard to, have you been struck by the pandemic?
We have. We had a couple deputies out, 2 at one time. It puts a strain on us, but we always will work through it, and no loss to service to the citizens. We'll shuffle people around so there's always somebody on. I like to have 2 people on at a time, just so they have backup. Close safety.
Yes.
Safety is number one for me. I'd rather have people work a lot of hours just for safety, not for the citizens, for everybody at home.
Well, and in your job, social distancing is a problem. Especially when you are, interviewing someone or making an arrest or, taking into custody someone that is, kind of doesn't want to be there. I mean, so. That's the problem, and that's the commitment that you guys make. I was reading last night in regard to, look, we're blessed here. Our school teachers are absolutely awesome. Our teachers, do a phenomenal job. We've been there for a long period of time, but I'm thinking about Chicago and their teachers not wanting to, go back to work and be there and making demands and. I typically don't understand it because the science, in this situation, what they teach and, the fundamentals of those education in regard to the science, they say got to have the kids in school. In every regard, even there's risk in everything, but, they are saying that, Scott, that the kids need to be in school, and a minority, probably, of teachers, say that, no, we're not going to go. And their union, basically is backing up. I just do not understand those fundamentals, what I'm saying, and what they're doing. And keeping these kids out of school, certainly they have to know, okay? Certainly they have to know that the repercussions of this is generational.
Oh, yeah.
Generational. And the reason I bring it up is just the difference in servicing. You know what I'm saying? Between, people like yourself, that, you made a commitment to that, professionalism, that internal commitment, to do your job no matter what the cost. And here are a few teachers, in Chicago, and other places, what I'm saying, have not made any commitment, what I'm saying, and it's kind of, okay, I'll get off of that, okay, Grace, but when you serve, you make a commitment, and you do the right thing, and that's something that you guys certainly do. So you've got a couple of new officers, that went through the academy. Tell me a little bit and tell us about the academy and what they do and how they go about qualifying individuals and training them to become servanthoods.
The academy, there's some different kind of academies that they're out there. Like Franklin County Academy, it's a part-time. So they go 10, 11 months. I don't know the exact, but it's a long period of time. But they do 1 day a week, weekends, to get their hours in.
Training.
Training. I don't know. I think it's 820 now is the hours of training.
That you have to spend in training.
Correct. And that will give you a Class A license through state of Missouri, and basically you can work anywhere in the state of Missouri. And it goes through all the fundamentals of firearm.
So firearm safety, okay.
Everything we need to know, the law, how to do our job, how to protect ourselves, how to protect the citizens, through domestic violence to civil cases. They're just a variety of training that you get through the 6 month or year-long training academy.
800 hours is a lot of hours, Scott.
It's a lot of hours. And then on top of that, after that, they have to do 24 hours a year to continue the post license. So it's always, we're in training always. We're sending deputies to training, keeping up with the new laws, keeping up with the new
technologies and procedures.
The COVID, how to protect ourselves, how to protect the citizens through COVID. It just, time has changed from back when I started to what we do now. When I started, it was all pen and paper. Now we do everything by computer. So you have the cost of the computers now, besides just paperwork, And it can be a big headache, and once the system goes down, we're down. You know,
Right.
because now we have to go back to paper, and a lot of them now, they don't do paper.
How has technology in your career, which is 20, how many total year law
I was
enforcement?
16 going on 17 years.
Okay, 17 years. How has that changed your job in law enforcement? I mean, I know the computer, without a doubt, but there's a lot of other things, that is, the communications has changed, correct?
Correct. I mean, computers and technology, it makes our job easier, and then it gives us a headache. The computers, now we can reach out to other agencies. If you have the same report writing system, now you can remote into their system. So you're investigating a crime on this suspect, you can actually go into Marys County, Osage County, pull that name out and figure out their back history with other agencies. Beforehand, you could never do that.
How quick is it? I mean, I know when my brother, my older brother was chief deputy, in Gasconade County. I went with him sometimes, I just rode around a little bit or did whatever. And, at that juncture, you would run, I don't even know what the numbers were, but when you see a license plate, you run that license plate.
Correct.
And what do they call that? Like a C or whatever it is. Anyway, the dispatcher, basically would do that, and then they, I think, went to the highway patrol because they had the records, and it would take a while, So if you notice Gracie speeding, or whatever, playing foul in some regard, how long does it take now if you see her license number to put that in a computer and get back a minute? So that's pretty quick.
That's how we get the plane run through communication. Within a minute, we have a readback of make, model, who is registered to.
And her record too.
Only if we page her up.
Okay.
So.
You better do that.
So the plate would just give you just the vehicle information.
Right.
Once we
But the owner.
stopping them, then we'll get the driver license and run it through the same communication. And with minute, we'll have date of birth, her not criminal history, but driving record, and what we need to do our job.
They got your number, Grace.
I'm sure they do.
So like the Highway Patrol, they do all that in the in-car system. They really don't do the dispatch. They can run a play on their computer and have it. It's already linked up to their, what we call mules or sieges.
Right.
It's already there.
So back when I was there, one of the big issues that Gasconade County Sheriff's Department was working on then was, being able to have information, like if you pull somebody over, to have information that you could relay this without going back to the car,
Correct.
to do that. I'm sure that's all established now, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, if in fact you're in the right place.
Yeah, but then we've done it, if there's a wanted person attached to the play, if it's stolen, the play stolen, the vehicle stolen, the subject, the registered owner is wanted out of it. I mean, there's so much information they can attach to that plate now. So when we run the plate, before we even make contact with that individual, we'll have information, hey, this guy may be wanted, the vehicle stolen, and then once we do that, then we kind of change the way we will handle a routine traffic stop. 2 or more, hey, let's get them out of the car, put them in cuffs, verify they got a warrant.
Body cameras. You guys don't have body cameras.
We do.
Oh, you do have?
Yeah, I purchased body cameras starting 1st of February. They all wear body cameras now.
So I guess, in fact, you like that then.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. It worked on my end, so if I ever get a complaint, hey, this deputy did this, it's on camera. I can verify if the complaint is correct or it's a make-believe false complaint. Then we take that video camera footage and we add it to the case file and present that to the.
Makes your case stronger, of course.
Correct. So now it's, hey, they planted that dope on me, or I wasn't speeding, or whatever the case is, we submit it to the prosecutor and says, hey, this is what happened. And there's no he says, she
Less
says.
questions. I mean,
Stuff, video don't lie.
yeah, that's, well, and you know, that's, I wasn't sure because, I mean, for a while that was questionable in regard to some, you know, sheriff's department or, you know, law enforcement, I should say. But to me, it brings accountability.
It does.
Total accountability and, you know, like you say, videos don't lie, you know, and we all need to be accountable, you know, and I hope in general we are headed in a way, even on a political side of things, that we become accountable,
Exactly.
much more accountable than we are. Everybody appears to, you know, have their own facts, and criminals are the same way, correct? You know what I'm saying? They all have their own set of facts that they want to adhere to, and this is just another positive way, you know what I'm saying, to bring justice, I think, and keep everybody accountable.
Yep. Citizens in law.
Yeah. So Gasconade County is a challenging place to not maybe you know, because it's the quality of life is good here and the number of incidents we have is you know, probably less than, you know, they are in a lot of areas. But it's a large geographic area, you know, for one thing, and that has its challenges of itself.
It does. I mean, just drive time from point A to point B. If we're down in Bland and we get a call in Herman, you know, you're looking at 45-minute drive.
And a lot of absentee ownership here, you know. I mean, our place is, you know, on the weekends, you know, there's, you know, how many, Grace? Probably 20% of our customers, you know what I'm saying, that come in here probably don't live here during the week and come out to maybe more than that, maybe more than that, but they're here on a continual basis. I'd say it's probably more than that, you know, that have places here and that come here on a continual thing that don't necessarily live here, but this is their farm, you know, their home, their place on the river, and they're absentee owners, you know, so that creates a challenge, you know, in regard to them, and that's where the trusting situation and the community policing are huge.
It goes a long ways.
That people watch out and understand what's going on in the neighborhood. And you still have some neighborhood watches, I'm sure.
Yep.
You got 2 active ones in Gasconade County or more?
We got the Burbis Watch Group down in Bland, area, Redbird area, and then we have one over in Boone.
Okay.
So, and I don't know how active that one is. So,
Well, most of those don't have to meet every month.
Well, yeah.
Once they kind of get it together, you know what I'm saying? I mean, once they got a plan and once they got a hierarchy and who they notify and what they do, they're still out there. Even though they may not be in their patrol cars, you know, every night, they still know the procedures. They still have the network of people, correct?
correct.
That,
It's all about communication.
yeah, there's,
That's what I tell my deputies, communicate. You see a farmer, anybody, Carry Boo farmer, they're out getting the mail, stop, talk to them. Introduce yourself. You know, you'll be amazed how much information you're gonna get. Just by reaching out saying, hey, I'm new deputy, Gasconade County. Here's my business card. If you see anything, please call me.
that is the key. One-on-one, you know what I'm saying, and relationship is the most powerful point of trust that there is. You know, one-on-one, and they, you know, I couldn't encourage you to do absolutely more of that.
You know, communication.
Pull Gracie over any time. So, you've been through your first budget process, you know,
Yep.
here in Gasconade County. Has the commission treated you pretty well?
I have no complaints on the commissioners.
No kidding.
No kidding.
My God, Scotty, let's go back.
I told you that's not a political answer or nothing like that. It is the honest truth. It's, you know, they work with me well, and You know, and again, it's a communication. It's
That is an
talking back and forth like adults, and you know, why scream at each other or yell at each other? I have to do best what's for me and my deputies, and they have to do what's best for the Gaston County. Somewhere in the middle, we got to meet in the middle to compromise. And how we get to that point is, I say, you know, we talk it out, and I show them my facts, they show them their facts, and we meet in the middle, and we work good. I mean, my budget year was smooth. I work with Lisa a lot. She probably gets tired of me.
She does a good job.
She does.
I mean, she's
I'm always
got
in the
experience.
office. Probably 3 times a week, I'm down there having questions. You know, and just budgeting or just in general. Stuff I don't know. I'm not afraid to ask questions. If I don't know it, I'm just not going to do it to do something wrong. I'm like, hey.
You
what do I
might
do
be.
here?
You might be the only rural sheriff in Gaston County that has ever, I mean, in the state of Missouri, that, well, I'm kidding. You know what I'm saying? But there is a lot of times tension, you know what I'm saying, between, you know, the sheriff and the commission, because, you know, there's real choices that have to be made in that square.
And it's going to come. It's going to come. We're going to disagree and we're going to butt heads, but
No,
I think we can do it professionalism and
if you start out on your, you know, on that turf that you're on, you know, it's going to help tremendously, because most of the time, a lot of times that don't happen, you know, because the new sheriff's in town, you know, he brings a new broom, you know, and he's going to sweep all the old stuff out, and you know, it's going to be a new.
And I talk to a lot of new sheriff in my class. We call it new sheriff class. You know, they got new elected first time sheriffs, and some of them their commissioner just nope.
Yeah.
You know, and then at least the 3 that I got are working with me and willing to work with me, and I count my blessings. It could be a totally different way, and from the get-go I could have a headache, but I was nervous, but they work with me and I work with them, and we all work as a team to accomplish one goal, what's best for the citizens of Gaston County.
I think your goals are synonymous. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good thing about you being local. You know what I'm saying? And you knowing this county, there was no surprises. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there isn't most of the time for the sheriffs.
Yeah.
You know that come in, but I don't know. You're unique in regard to you knew the experience, and I think that was one of your gifts, Scott. Was that. And that's what people seen, you know, is that you spent 20 years, you know what I'm saying, in the law enforcement business in our area, you know, and you knew the people, you knew the circumstances that you were, you know, getting into. You were in, you know, you were in here, you had worked under that purview and that system, and you probably knew when you took this job that the Gaston County wasn't going to build you a brand new office and a brand new jail and have an unlimited set of resources for you to go into. And even though I'm not saying that you don't deserve it, you know, but it wasn't going to happen, right?
Correct. I knew my limitations. I knew, you know, you asked for a lot, you know, that was just being greedy, you know. I asked a lot on my budget for vehicles because I needed vehicles, you know, but we compromised and we went half and half. I asked for 4, they gave me 2. I was happy with that. 2 is better than none. So,
you know, one of the issues that we used to work on, I don't even know if this is the right acronym anymore, but DARE, or keeping somebody resource officer at school, you know, do we still do those kind of things? Okay.
you know, Owenville got rid of it, and then I presented it and my budget for a school resource officer, which got turned down, which the commissioner believed that's the schools in the city of Owensville.
Right.
They believe city of Owensville should take care of that, and not the Gaston County.
And Herman is also.
In Herman, the Herman, they do their own thing with the school and kind of work it out with the schools. So.
And the chief or the police department there. I guess I'm just wondering. I see some of the deputies sometimes, you know what I'm saying, sitting at the school there. what kind of relationship, you know what I'm saying, on a professional basis does the sheriff's department have with the school system here in
I
Owensville?
mean, I talked to Chuck, I know he's retiring, but, you know, like I told him, even though they did not grant me my budget of the school resource officer, doesn't mean I'm not going to be at the schools.
Right.
My deputy's still going to go through, do walkthroughs. Owensville's probably going to do walkthroughs. We're going to sit at the school just so people know, hey, we're there.
Well, you know, there's been a lot, in all honesty, there's been a lot of ebb and flow, you know what I'm saying, to these programs, you know, throughout, you know, the year. And, you know, I think, first of all, there seems to be, just from looking at it from an outside, there seems to be a lot of changeover, you know what I'm saying, in staff and personnel, you know what I'm saying, that these resource officers, you know, go through. And there is definitely things that you want to do there, you know what I'm saying, but, you know, where is the dollars best spent, you know what I'm saying? I mean, in a school system, you have a tremendously, I don't want to say manageable, but you've got a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, looking at what's going on a daily basis there. And as long as that communication is open between the school authorities and Dr. Hardy, by the way, have you been working with her yet? I mean,
Well, she's been in every meeting that me and Chuck had.
That's
regarding
awesome.
To the SRO, so we introduce each other, you know.
my hat's off to the school board for choosing her. I don't know what else was out there in their portfolio, but she fits well in our area, in my opinion.
She does. I like her a lot. She's
Yeah,
down
and
to earth and
She is.
willing to listen. That's what I like. It's
She-
not about her just because she's in that. Not about her. She's actually, when I presented some stuff, they presented some stuff, they actually took the time to listen and then tried to say, hey, what can we do to make this work?
Yeah, I'm pleased and I'm impressed with our school board, and I'm impressed, you know, with her ability to know our culture, know our area, because she come from South Missouri, you know, and you know, she grew up there, so you know, those are good situations to work with if you got like kind, you know, that you know, have roots here and know the culture. That's tremendously important. But you know, the school has had their own challenges, you know what I'm saying, with COVID and, you know, these particular things to go through. But it's great to have that relationship, but I think it's a wise decision also to, since we do have limited resources, is seeing where these resources, you know, can be the best spent.
Yeah.
You know, the educators do what they do anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're there. They have, you know, interaction with these kids. They can spot a foul. You know what I'm saying? They can spot, you know, a problem. As long as that communication stays with you, I would rather be paying your deputy, you know what I'm saying, as a backup to having two people, you know what I'm saying, on duty on a continual basis. I think it is a, you know, a better situation when you have limited resources to do those fundamentals.
Correct. And I applaud the school board, the school teachers, for how the changes from day one to the COVID hit, to the changes, they have to wear a mask, they have to do this. Just the kids alone, you know, the kids are usually on a routine. And you change a routine, it throws a kid's compass out of whack. And to bear with that and to keep them, I have two in there, and it's amazing what they do.
You know, Scott, we have, I don't know, half a dozen kids here in high school, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
Probably more than that work. And we got good kids, you know, I mean, these are, and we've had some, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, have come and gone, you know, to some degree. Their hearts are in the right places. But the kids that we work with on a continual basis here that are high school kids are tremendously impressive in their ability to adapt. You know, I mean, we've got a wrestler here, you know, that helps me on the farm. He helps cook here, and, you know, he's involved in sports. I mean, Gracie probably communicates with him almost every day, in regard to what are you doing this evening? You know, if you're practicing. If not, you can come out here and help me feed or do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, cook on Friday night. He's doing that. You know, but then they get they get quarantined, you know, and that's happening, you know, a lot with them because, you know, they're wrestlers, they're sports, they don't have it, but once they wrestle somebody from another school that's in it, the whole team, you know, basically is quarantined for a period of time. But their ability to adjust, even though, in fact, as a whole, Scotty, this COVID is really hard on a lot of kids, you know.
Absolutely.
Not being in the classroom, not being there, not having that consistency. On the other hand, okay, those kids that are adapting to this are going to be unbelievable when they move forward into a career, because they can change like that. They have learned to center themselves, you know, and to focus on what they need to focus on at that given time, and live with that. And so, yeah, I am concerned about kids not getting education. There's a certain amount of these kids that are going to be spectacular, you know, as things move on, and we're going to need their skill set, because guess what? Life is just starting to change.
I mean, just like four of my deputies, when I took office, I was a third sheriff for 1 year. I mean, that's 3 bosses.
I'm not making fun of that, but
I know, but that's 3 bosses that they had to adapt to, just like the COVID and the kid. You know, when they get out, they can adapt to that. When you're older, it's hard to adopt to 3 bosses in 1 year. That's a lot.
hard to adopt to one boss, ain't it?
Yeah.
Mom, I'm talking about.
So I mean, I applaud the kids that can do that. I mean, it's hard on me to adopt to different people I hire. You know,
Sure it is.
the one that's older is totally different. You got to supervise them different than you have to supervise the young ones.
Your underlings, you know what I'm saying, your staff, how approachable are they in regard to them training the new officers? Do they, I mean, you got to set the vision and the direction here. There's no question. But is your chiefs and your major, I guess, does your major do more of that than your chief deputy, you know, in
That's
regard?
Same person.
Okay.
Major, chief deputy, it's the same guy.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
he operates the road. You know, he basically, I have a vision, he agrees to my vision, I play my major. He goes to the sergeant, so this is the route we're going, and then they go down to the deputies and say, this is the route we're going. Get them on board, and so far we had no complaints, and we're all just moving forward, trying to get everybody out of training, and we can
And
just,
of course, your office manager takes care of the paperwork with them guys. I'm guessing, you know.
yeah, she does. Remember, we do all paperwork and we submit it to her, and then, you know, she'll look through it and say, hey, you're missing this, and then she'll kick it back, and then,
It's good to
It's a
have
cycle.
somebody like that, you know. There's no question about it all. So, I know there were some budget numbers in the paper, you know, in regard to that. And I know that as a whole, I mean, even though Gasconade County has had a tough year, you know, in regard to a lot of things, a lot of the numbers are reasonably positive here because of the reassessment situation, and our property values have went up considerably, you know, in Gasconade County. So there is a few more resources, you know, from that point that the county has to work with. The other fantastic news, I mean, this is a little bit off of your base, but the other fantastic news to me is that, you know, we've had our use tax, you know, come before the county a couple of different times. It appears that the governor is supporting a unified use tax application across the state of Missouri. So even counties that have not past that. You know what I'm saying? The state would go ahead and collect those, dollars. Or I'm not saying collect, because if you know, the truth of it is most of those are all collected to begin with.
Yeah.
They're just not redistributed, you know what I'm saying, back to the county. So, and I don't know how you explain that to people. They just don't want tax money, or they just don't want it. But you're already paying for it.
They're paying for it.
For the most part, you're already paying for that tax. So the governor has been supportive of getting that back. So while it won't be a windfall, for Gascony County, it will be a significant new sustaining resource to the county, that is awesome, because I'll admit to you and anybody else, and you probably use it too, in regard to resources that you need for the sheriff's department. You want to buy locally, but how often is there a place in Gascony County that has, the utility, what you need, in order to get what you need to have?
Some of it's not there. Like, we just got a new server for the sheriff's office, so we don't do a cloud-based server no more. We actually have our own server that I maintain. Just to do the download on that is a few disks. Nobody in Gascony County carries that disk. So we had to go out
Sure you do.
and get that disk.
Yeah, and
The time changed, before the internet wasn't there. Amazon wasn't there, Google wasn't there. You couldn't go Kohl's and just buy stuff offline and have it shipped to you. Try it on, yep, don't like it, ship it back and try a different size. You don't have to leave your house. Now everything's online, and everybody in Gascony County. I mean, I tell a joke, I say, my wife is keeping Amazon in business.
not only her.
She laughs and says, well, every day is a new package.
Yep.
The postman knows the way to our place.
And there's probably a lot of jokes throughout the community in Gascony County. It's just the way it's.
And it's going to be that way. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things that I do not like about that, obviously. But, in our business here, as in your business, those resources just aren't available in our, not only Gascony County, but our whole trade area. Correct. A lot of the stuff that we need here on a continual basis ain't available in St. Louis.
Exactly.
So, you use those other, and it will only continue to grow. So, that's maybe a positive thing, you know what I'm saying, for Gascony County, if this initiative, is passed at the state level in regard to the use tax. There will be, an opportunity to bring more of our resources back home.
I hope so.
And me too, there's no question, because we'll use it, and I think we're going to use it better than where that money is going right now, because that's basically back in the vendor's pocket, you know what I'm saying, and so, it is what it is. So what are your goals, in regard, I know that you probably got a, you know what? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about your vision in the future here in just a minute on KTUI, 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, or possibly you're watching us on Facebook Live. And we're going to take a little break talking with the new High Sheriff of Gascony County, Scotty Eiler. And Gracie is going to get us up to speed in regard to what's going on in our neck of the woods this weekend.
Yes, nice to see that there is some stuff going on.
It is
even
nice
though
to
it is
see.
curbside, but that's all right.
That's good.
St. Peter's UCC Super Bowl Sunday is having a curbside to go February 7th from 10 a.m. to 12:30. They will have homemade chicken noodle soup, chili and potato soup. Everyone is welcome. It'll be delivered to your car, and the cost will go to Goodwill donation, and it's held at St. Peter's United Church of Christ in Owensville. The Owensville Senior Center is having a curbside fish fry Friday, February 5th. They'll start serving at 4 o'clock. Dinners are $9 a plate. They will have catfish or shrimp, and then proceed benefits will go to the Owensville Senior Center. The Owensville Moose Lodge will have a barbecue benefit Saturday, February 13th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. They will have a dessert auction and a gun raffle as well. They will have pork steaks, brats, and chicken available. Proceeds will help both the Moose Lodge and the Owensville Fire Department. This Friday night at the White Mule, we will be serving steak, lasagna, shrimp, and beef kebabs from 5 until 8:30. Saturday, we will serve our steaks and pizza wings and hamburgers from 5 to 8:30. And then Sunday is all-you-can-eat pan-fried chicken from 11 to 3:30. And if you had not made your reservations for Valentine's Day weekend here, we recommend that you do that.
And we got a lot for Saturday night.
We're pretty much full for Saturday.
But Friday we do have some, not a lot, right?
Friday and Sunday we're still available.
But Sunday we've got some available for Sunday. So remember that, Scotty. You know what you can do if we're full? You can say, "Honey." I try. No, we'll set a table for you. You know, no question. So, a big month coming up here. Don't forget about your Valentine's Day. Don't forget about those loves that you have. And I asked Karen last night what she wanted for Valentine's Day, and she just kind of laughed. Like, haven't I bought her a Valentine's thing at all?
I don't know.
No, not so good, not so often. So we need to take care of that, Grace.
I think you guys will be here Friday night, right?
We'll be here Friday.
Yeah.
You don't want to tell the sheriff location, you know.
No, that's true.
We'll be here.
Your family's got a birthday party.
2 of them.
That's
In-laws, father-in-law has a birthday party, my brother has a birthday.
Scotty Eiler, thanks for what you do.
Appreciate it.
This door is always open to you. Anything that you need here, anything that your department needs, any outreach that you need to do to your community, this place is open. We'll do everything we can to help you out.
I greatly appreciate it.
Tell your officers thank you, and God bless you guys. We'll keep you in our prayers, and we'll keep you in our thoughts, and keep up the good work.
And if you guys need anything from us, don't hesitate.
You need anything, Grace?
Not yet.
She haven't got a ticket yet.
I haven't.
I ain't going
I
there.
can't say that.
He's gonna check you out now as soon as you get to the new technology, Grace. Don't be lying to the sheriff.
I'm not lying.
All right, Scotty, always a pleasure. We will see you here soon, and this door is open, but you know, anything you need to do, I think we need to do this every, several times a year.
Yep, I agree.
So keep us in mind, and God bless you, and good luck.
Thank you.
We will be back next week here, same time, same place, and have a good week. Get out and make plans now to do something. It's going to get cold this weekend, Sam says, so nice place to cuddle up here at the White Mule Winery or at other places, and just enjoy the week, and God bless you. Good Lord willing, we'll see you here next week.
I was ready to make a change in my career, but every place I applied said I didn't have the education. I wasn't sure about going back to school because of how much it costs, but then I heard about the Fast Track Workforce Incentive Grant, a program for adults to help pay for a certificate, degree, or industry-recognized credential. By going to mofasttrack.com, I was able to check out the eligible programs. Then I applied for federal student aid and completed a short application. Get started on the Fast Track at mofasttrack.com.
News Talk 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, KTUI, Sullivan. It's 11 o'clock.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The U.S. Justice Department is mulling the idea to charge members involved in the January 6 occupation of the Capitol building under a federal law usually used against organized crime. The Racketeer Influence and Corruption Organization Act, known as RICO, enables prosecutors to combat certain ongoing racketeering crimes. Wisconsin prosecutors are seeking a new arrest warrant for Kenosha shooter 18-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, claiming that he broke the conditions of his bail by moving houses and disapprove of his carefree attitude. Court documents filed with Judge Bruce Schroeder show that prosecutors